So we have to go back and start retracing steps. How are you getting clients hand over fist? How are you booking them solid? How did you have a waiting list? And we go back and we really have to, it's like a forensic scientist. We really got to break it down. And then we start to build from there one at a time. And it's very individual, Lawrence. Remember, this is like anybody who coaches with me, these are probably the first words that come out of my mouth. It's not about you, it's about them. And the sooner you embrace that and deliver that, the faster your business doubles, not increases a little bit. Boom, a cycle happens and it doubles. You get all those referrals.
Welcome to another episode brought to you by Imagine Strength, the future of safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Are you a HIIT studio owner looking for equipment that's not just top-notch, but also tailored to your specific needs? Imagine Strength is your answer. Inspired by the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength is revolutionizing the HIIT industry with their state-of-the-art yet affordable equipment. Their team doesn't just sell HIIT equipment, they live and breathe it. I've personally experienced their gear at the Resistance Exercise Conference, and let me tell you, it was an intense workout that I won't soon forget, in the best way possible, of course. So why choose Imagine Strength? Number one, they provide customized solutions for HIIT studios. Number two, they have budget-friendly yet high-performance designs. And number three, they're committed to innovation and excellence in high-intensity training specifically. Founder Jeff Turner and his dedicated team are on a mission to make HIIT accessible to everyone. Getting started is easy. Number one, visit imaginestrength.com. Number two, consult with their expert team. And number three, choose the equipment that will skyrocket your business. Don't wait. Head over to imaginestrength.com and elevate your HIIT studio today with Imagine Strength. Lawrence Bill here, and welcome back to High Intensity Business, your one-stop shop for elevating your HIIT business and fueling your passion for high-intensity training. This is episode 445 with Pete Cerqua. Pete is a master high-intensity fitness coach and creator of the 90-second fitness solution. He has been professionally coaching since 1985. I didn't forget that this time, Pete. And is also a 5-time best-selling author for Simon & Schuster and Skyhorse Publishing, which includes the books High-Intensity Fitness Revolution for Women and High-Intensity Fitness Revolution for Men. His coaching program shows personal trainers how to earn 7 figures plus per year. You can find out more over at highintensitybusiness.com/coaching. Links are also in the description wherever you're watching this or listening to this. Pete, great to see you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me on episode 445.
I know, right? Lots of podcasts. So it's a short episode today, which I think is fine because actually a lot of our listeners don't have time for the longer episodes. And what we're going to talk about today is how you've helped or can help veteran, experienced personal training business owners, right? So I think a lot of people that come to you think that you're mostly focused on working with people that are startups or solo trainers who are just getting started. But the reality is you work with both ends of the spectrum. So, and you, I think you brought this to me because I think maybe people had that stereotype or that assumption about you. And you wanted to kind of explain that, no, I can, provide value at that end as well. But let me ask you, why did you want to broach this topic today?
Hey, it's a great topic because you have to kind of backtrack a little bit and figure out, how did people become successful in the first place? How did their businesses build? How did they gain all this momentum? And then obviously when COVID hit, it set everybody back. And what they have to do at this point is figure out, all right, how do I get back on track? What was I doing that was working for me? And where did I gain that momentum from? Something very interesting that I discovered while talking to a lot of these people is, and I'm just going to bring you back to some of the history of HIIT facilities. So if we go back to the 1970s, you got Nautilus facilities, right? And their fame was all generated by Arthur Jones and his either interviews or his magazine articles or his equipment. And that went the route that it went. It had its 10 or 20 year run and then it disappeared and dried up. And HIIT was really kind of dormant for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, I cracked the code for me. And I wasn't out there publicly advertising. I was doing quite the opposite. I was trying to keep this as quiet as possible because I didn't want thousands of trainers now coming after my money. So I was in the 90s, I was really trying to keep this on the down low. All right. Around 2002, I'm pretty sure that's an accurate year. I'm knocking out 100 sessions a week and doing my thing and trying to keep it quiet. And Adam Zickerman brings out the first book, Power of 10. And now it becomes mainstream. Well, and a year later is Fred Hahn's book, Slow Burn. Both of these guys are New York City guys like me, and we're literally within blocks of each other. As a matter of fact, I could see Adam's facility from my window. He's literally across the street. Now what happens is the news wants more information on this. Vanity Fair, the New York Times. So not only do they interview Adam and Fred, but they start digging around as, well, who else is successful in this thing? And they find me. Okay, so I'm another one. Now I'm publicly out there and we're doing our thing. And the Vanity Fair article about high intensity training and how it can make you more fit in just a few minutes a week was huge for the industry. Huge. Okay. It's not about the protocol. It's just about the concept. What happens now? 2002, 2003. Now by 2005, we're in the news so much that it's like, all you have to do is people are out there looking for this, right? They're making phone calls. Hey, I read in the New York Times, they got this it was a 7-minute workout in the New York Times, high intensity, right? Do you do that? And all you had to say was, yes. Right? That's how it works.
Strong sales pitch. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, of course we do that. I actually even got my own version of that. And trainers with very little experience and not successful businesses, even in the high intensity world, were filling up their schedules because people were looking for it. Now, a few years after that, you got my book. My first book came out, first of 3 and then 2 rewrites, 2 second editions. And then you have a year after me, Doug McGuff puts out his Body of Science book. Okay. Now there's 4 books out there promoting
Body by Science, just in case people.
You've got 4 books out there that are now making the general public go, well, where can I get this? They go to the MedX website to see who's got MedX equipment, and the MedX people would, they'll refer over. I'm still listed on that site. They start calling gyms in their area, or maybe they saw an interview with Pete and they start looking up 90 Second Fitness and they call my studio. They called up Adam's studio. They called up Fred's studio. What if you're in Ohio? And, I don't know. Well, I can't go to New York. You just start calling around gyms. Do you do this high intensity thing? Yes, I do. And that's how a schedule would fill up. Whether these guys knew how to do the programs or not, some excellent trainers with big backgrounds filled up their schedule with some of this momentum. It was just the market and where it was and what the public wanted at the time. All right. So now you're riding this wave that, and all waves have like 10 to 15-year runs, maybe even 20. And then something usually happens in the market. That's true of Nautilus, volume training, CrossFit. Everybody has their own kind of run. And then it falls out of favor for a bit or something happens. That's just the nature of all businesses, right? So COVID happened for us, and that really put we were kind of struggling at this point, high intensity training businesses, because prior to COVID, the few years prior to COVID, think about it. Now we've got a lot of trainers and we probably, caught up with the market. The number of people looking for this workout, it's not in the news so much versus the number of trainers that are delivering the service across the country. So
there's from what I've seen in terms of the data over that time period, there's big growth in the boutique fitness market, right? You had all these concepts coming up like Orange Theory, is it Stretch Lab, boot camp concepts, like all these. And so it became a lot more competitive because it was still from what I understand, in terms of what I've seen in terms of the data, it was still a very much a growing market. That overall kind of boutique fitness sector was growing. But what you're saying is that there was less of this momentum sort of slowing down for the kind of 7 minute, 15-minute workout that was sort of being popularized in the early 2000s.
Right. Once we hit once we hit the front page of the New York Times, it was just huge. Okay. It
I
just
bet.
took off. So for everybody. And now it has not been on the front page of the New York Times for 10 years. And so the market it just tapers off. And let's go with your point of like things like Orange Theory. Think about Orange Theory and boot camp workouts. Boot camp is not a novel idea, but it has its cycles. I remember when Crunch started the boot camp workouts back in the late 80s, early 90s. In one room, Crunch was a one room gym on Charles Street. I knew the owner. He had me help him build his second location. So I was these boot camp things were just going crazy. And then they died off. People started coming, for high intensity, or CrossFit was making a mark. And then the resurgence of boot camp in a different way, it's everybody runs in cycles. So we're in a downturn. High intensity is in a downturn. COVID hits, maybe not a downturn, but definitely tapered off. COVID hits. Now we're all in a downturn. We've all gotten beat up. So what I'm seeing with the veteran trainers is we get on the phone and we just start talking. They weren't really sure how they built the business in the first place. So we have to go back and start retracing steps. How are you getting clients hand over fist? How are you booking them solid? How did you have a waiting list? And we go back and we really have to, it's like a forensic scientist. We really got to break it down, find out where their strengths were. What really worked for them, the area they were in, what were they promoting at the time? And then we start to build from there one at a time. And it's very individual, Lawrence.
Okay. All right. So when having those conversations, maybe you can give us some examples. So I was getting so lost in what you were saying there. So I wasn't thinking about my next question. But when you're having these conversations and you're retracing the footsteps, doing this forensic analysis and identifying the things, can you give us some examples? Like what were some of those things that really worked, which, as you're kind of alluding to, maybe they stopped doing because things got easy. Maybe they got soft, So what were those things that come to mind for you?
And you nailed it. It's 100% of what happens. What happens as a trainer is you get on cruise control. Well, business is just coming in and I'm not even doing anything for it. So, you kind of lose your skills because you're not hunting anymore. It's just being thrown at you, right?
Farming, basically. Yeah.
It's it.
Yeah.
So when enough time goes by and enough success goes by, you forgot even how you got there. So you just got to start digging back. What I look for is I'm looking for the opportunities that an individual trainer has to offer customer service. And that's a really big thing for me. Customer service is the product, not high intensity workouts. High intensity workouts is just a protocol. Okay. The product that you're giving is, think about it, personal training. Personal. It's got to be personal. Don't let that get away from you. Don't try to make it a machine that's, just like a push button kind of a situation that you don't have to be involved in. You're not a big business. You don't own 40 locations. You don't have 1,000 trainers working for you. If you're, a mom and pop shop that has maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 trainers working for you, or even up to 10, you really need to get back to customer service. That's key, absolutely key. So now we start breaking down things like, where's an opportunity that you can give customer service or better customer service? One of the first things I see is in the protocol. There are many versions of high intensity protocols that are excellent. And if you look at the studies of them, one is just as good as another one. I'll give you I'll just throw a few out there. You all know what I'm talking about, but let's just go back to the nuts and bolts of high intensity training, which is the Nautilus 2-4 protocol. 2-second positive, 4-second negative. Is that the best? Yeah, very possible. It's definitely our foundation and where we all started. That's our basic information. The Nautilus bulletin number 1, number 2, even number 3, right? All goes back to this protocol. Is there anything better than that? Sure, there's things that you could tweak a little bit and get a 10% gain here and a 20% gain there, but you're really splitting hairs. Okay. Here's where that protocol falls short for me. 2 seconds forward and 4 seconds back only gives me 6 seconds to coach and use my verbal skills. And my verbal skills are what is going to sell the next session. I'm selling while I'm training. Okay. And let's just even take that one step further. Let's just imagine a 1 second protocol, 1 second forward, 1 second back, even in good form. Don't dispute, don't sit here and say, no, that's not even a protocol. There's a point I'm trying to make. If a set goes 1 second forward, 1 second back, and you're doing 12 reps, how much opportunity do you have to coach or use your verbal cues and be a part of that set? Zero. The only thing you could do is sit back and go 1, 2, great. Don't forget to breathe. You squeeze that in. Now, let's take another protocol. Let's flip it on its head. Let's do a 30-second rep. Okay. And where can you find this? Ellington Darden. Ellington Darden wrote about this in the 80s. 1 rep bicep curl to a 1 rep chin. Well, that's a 60-second rep. Let's take that one. Okay. Then a 30-second rep. So you get 1 rep in a bicep curl, 1 rep in a chin in superset fashion. That was his big arms program. Okay. Think about the coaching opportunity. Think about the opportunity for customer service in that protocol, in those 2 exercises with 2 reps. First of all, when you walk up to the exercise and tell the client, guess what? You're only going to do 1 rep on this exercise. Oh my God, the energy. What do you mean? 1 rep. You're going to do 1 rep. And you don't have to know anything. All you have to do is just listen to me. I'm going to talk you through every second of it. Okay. Here's a barbell. You can lift this easily, but just listen to my cues. You ready? And the stopwatch the button gets pressed and all right, now I want you to initiate this very, very slowly. I want you to bring it up so slow. It looks like it's barely moving. I will adjust the speed as we go. Look, we're 5 seconds into this and I've already said 30 words. That's customer service. That's coaching. The client is now tuned into you going, wow, he's really into this. Oh, this is great. And it's all about me. Remember, this is like anybody who coaches with me. These are probably the first words that come out of my mouth. It's not about you. It's about them. And the sooner you embrace that and deliver that, the faster your business doubles, not increases a little bit. It boom, a cycle happens and it doubles. You get all those referrals.
Today's episode is sponsored by Imagine Strength, the game changer in safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training machines. When it comes to HIIT, Imagine Strength is your go-to for intelligently designed, efficient, and affordable equipment. Their team is passionate about HIIT, and it shows in every piece they craft. So why are Imagine Strength the right choice? Number 1, they tailor-make their equipment for HIIT studios. Number 2, they provide cost-effective solutions for your business. And number 3, they are committed to ongoing innovation and refinement. Ready to take your HIIT business to the next level? Visit imaginestrength.com to discuss your needs and find the perfect gear for your studio. Join the HIIT revolution of Imagine Strength and transform your workout experience today.
Let's go.
What do you think, Lawrence? I mean,
no, this is great. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is, in short, is some of these, and I know this is not just who we're just addressing today in terms of the veterans, the more experienced business owners. This is across the board. They just become a bit soft, maybe complacent in the training protocol in terms of their own ability to deliver sessions and their trainer's ability to deliver sessions. Business was easier, and therefore they didn't really need to sharpen the saw and stay on top of this. You see this quite a lot in, I think another point that's related to this is owners and trainers who lose the passion for their own workouts, and maybe they get out of shape themselves and don't really even get a workout in for themselves, or when they lose that passion for their own workouts, you've got to maintain that, right? You and your team have to be, the consumers of your own product, Because if you don't consume it, if you aren't personally trained yourself, I mean, it's a slight tangent, then it's like, how do you truly know then how to empathize with your client, right? If you're not really taking it seriously yourself. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's like you're taking foot off the gas. You're not, that is the core of the business, isn't it? Delivering these great workouts, this great customer service. And I can see how when that's lacking, that's going to obviously have a negative effect on not only referrals, but obviously on, retention and other aspects of the business as well. So that totally makes sense. Is there more to say on that? Or I'd love to know if there's one or two other factors, which again, when you're working with some of these more experienced business owners, other weaknesses you see that perhaps you can give problem solution on this podcast, maybe one or two to before we finish.
I'm going to get to that. I want to strengthen your point a little bit more that you made that's really important, and complacency and how that happens. Let me tell you a way it happened to me. Success is through the roof. Clients are coming in the door and I am flying. Money's rolling in. Guess what? I'm working 14 hours a day to do 24, 26 sessions a day. What happened to my own workouts? Next thing you know, I'm getting a little belly. When I do at the end of the day, when the gym is quiet and everybody's gone home and it's my 15th hour of being productive, now I got to get my workout in. It's only going to take 15 or 20. Shouldn't be a problem, but my body's not responding like it used to because of what I accomplished previously. I have to start rethinking this and reconstructing my own personal workouts. And you know what? I got to look better because I can't be fat for my clients, right? These things happen. And I needed help. I needed to sit down with some other trainers and say, hey, listen, I'm a victim now. I'm a victim of my own success. How do I get back on track? And I had to sit down with a nutritionist and another high intensity trainer and help me reel it in. I need to hear this from somebody else. It's really something. And I think that's the most important thing, especially with a veteran trainer is, and I tell them this, there's a great guy named John who I have spoken to a few times. And I'm like, John, you know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You just need to hear it again. And he's like, you know what, Pete, you're absolutely right. Let's go over it again. And I'm not telling him anything he didn't either invent or know or use to build his business. He knows it, but you know what? And he even said, he's like, sometimes we just need a good shot. Come on, man, you know this, do it. It works.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I thinking about that for myself so many times. I just need to hear same things I've heard 100 times, 1,000 times. You just need to be reminded of these things, don't you, so that you don't become too complacent. So where do we move on next? Maybe we'll do one more and then wrap, Pete, keep this short as we promised. And obviously we've got other commitments. So let's just do one more.
After customer service, I like that I share my referral program because now you want to give something out and you really want to have something that's provocative and people can't ignore. I put strict timelines on my referral program, which is very, very important. You can't just throw up something out there, an offer out there forever. We got a great deal on personal training. It's $10 a session for the first month. And whenever you get around to it, you can have that offer. No. It's going to be this Friday only, take it or leave it. It's got to be strict. So I put this referral program together that has made me millions of dollars. A lot of even veteran trainers aren't aware of it. So we go over it. It makes perfect sense. It's not something that's it's not like I invented the concept, but I did tweak it for them a bit. And I show them how to really kind of make it special and tight. Now you got to go out there and promote this thing during the period of time that we agreed upon and be aggressive about it and then stop. And that's what's going to make it special. So making things special and promoting your program again is going to be a big deal. And it's really just a wake-up call, Lawrence. It's really just, this is what you did in the past. You were shouting from the rooftops, I got the brightest workout in the world. You got to come in and try this. And then you stopped for 10 years because there was no reason to shout about it. But
I'll tell you what, I think what we'll do, if it's okay, Pete, because you've gone through this referral process in detail before, we'll link to that exact podcast in the show notes to this so that listeners can actually review the entire process step by step. And if they want to implement it, because it's great. But there's one question I had actually, which is related to what you said, which maybe we can end on. Is I was talking to someone the other day, a mutual friend of ours, and she probably almost sort of fits this category to an extent. And she was saying, so to your idea there about, hey, we forgot to stand on the rooftops and shout about our business and our offer. She said, well, everyone knows what I do. People already know, they know about me. They know I exist. They know what we do. And I thought to myself, yeah, but like people are busy, people have got distractions. They got stuff going on in their own lives. You still need to reach out to these people, whether that's, one-on-one or at events or in an email blast or social media. You still got to connect with these people, reach out and make offers. How do you think about that? So when someone says to you, hey, Pete, yeah, but like everyone knows about my business. Everyone should be just knocking down my doors. How would you respond to that?
You got to freshen it up a bit. So, and what I would do is if you gave me the keys to your facility and said, here's my situation, everybody knows what I do. First thing I'd do is shut the lights off, put paper over the windows and rearrange the equipment. I mean, literally rearrange the equipment and just move things around in a different order. Then I would call everybody up, all my current clients up and say, guess what? New workout program starting this Monday. Come on in and try yours out. It's a different order. There's one or two protocols that you've never used. I can't wait to show you this stuff. I've been studying this and now it's time to implement it. And after you wow them, oh, this is really great. Oh, this is really, get them with the referral program. You should get a month of this for free. So shake it up. Don't, the complacency thing is the death of your business. It could be as simple as rearranging equipment, a new protocol that you threw in for one exercise. It doesn't have to be all the exercises, right? But just something to wow them and wake them up and say, oh my God, I forgot. This is awesome.
Yeah. You got me thinking, and I know we were talking about this offline just now, is I'm just thinking if we could give the listeners something to take action right now, because I think some people are thinking, oh, like it's Thanksgiving today. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, by the way, Pete. So I forgot to say, I appreciate you doing this on Thanksgiving, by the way. I didn't even realize that. Been emailing people this morning and then following up straight away on email. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Sorry, forgot you probably won't read this today. Anyway, so tell me if I'm wrong, but there's probably a bit of laissez-faire attitude among business owners. Okay, it's Christmas in a month. People are sort of winding down, etc. Getting ready for Christmas. Maybe they'll pick up things in a new year. They 1st of January, oh, I've gained so much weight. I feel terrible. And hence why there's always the, massive surge in fitness inquiries, etc. in the new year. And maybe owners are thinking about that. But in my mind, I'm like, no, there's always opportunity all year round, right? There's opportunity to grow your business. And to your point, it's changing things up. I love that idea about rearranging the machine. Although that can be a big effort, but you can still have a new program, a new protocol, and that doesn't take any extra effort or very little. And then literally, if we give people an idea right now, warm reach outs, right? We were talking about this. It's like go and pick up your phone and look at all of your contacts and reach out to every single one of them with a personal message and say, hey, so and so, I want to let you know about this new protocol. Was wondering if you knew anyone who wants to get in shape for their Christmas party. Because my missus was telling me this. She said, oh yeah, people want to get in shape and look great in front of their colleagues. I thought, what a great kind of motivator and perhaps pain that some of our prospects might be thinking about. So anyway, that's just a little idea for people to incorporate what Pete's saying and actually put an offer there right now. And if you do this, if you send out 50, 100 messages, you will get business. And you do that consistently, you'll have more business than you can handle. And I actually think sometimes it's as simple as that. And I feel like a lot of our listeners just need to realize they need to take massive action and probably consume a little less content, I hate to say. And it's more about just taking action and then getting it done and doing it, consistently. I think that's something that's lacking in high intensity training a little bit. So I don't know what you think of that, but I just thought I'd end on that note. Yeah.
You're 100% correct. If you look at it, you could have one of two attitudes, right? So every single month of the year, there is something. There is a holiday, a birthday, there's something every month.
Always, yeah.
You want to take the attitude of, well, I'll do it after the holidays settle down and I'm really fat and I have to get back in shape. You can delay it for years. It's just that easy. Or you could take your approach and say, hey, you need to work out with me extra now so you don't gain 15 pounds, you only gain 3. Like you could take the aggressive approach, and that's what you need to do now to wake up your business.
This is exactly what Luke's done at Discover Strength. They've done, everyone could probably see this, it's public on their content. I think it's called, off the top of my head, the December Crescendo or something like that. And I can't remember if it was just workouts leading up to Thanksgiving or workouts all the way through to Christmas. I can't remember, but you can obviously implement this either way. And it's basically a challenge that is increasing workout frequency to, I think it's like 2 or 2.5 times per week. It's such a fantastic idea because it's short term. So you're not really going to overtrain people. It's going to ramp up metabolism. It's going to keep people really, keep those habits going because they train more. They're going to feel better. They're going to want to improve the rest of their habits, etc. Keeps that consistency. So it saves off perhaps some of that weight gain in a number of different ways there. And so I thought that was really, clever and quite inspiring, actually. I know a lot of our
Luke
colleagues.
is brilliant. Discover Strength is open this morning. All locations are open.
Yeah. He loves
been
training.
posting all week about get your Thanksgiving workout in. And I was open every holiday. I would put the first 4 hours of the day to anybody who was serious about coming in. And that's the thing, I'm doing 100 and plus sessions a week. That doesn't mean you let your guard down or take your foot off the gas pedal. I showed up Thanksgiving morning, 6 a.m., and I would book until noon, and then I can enjoy my holiday. I'd put 6 hours in. I could put a dozen to 15 sessions in, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I certainly agree. And I think, I'm just using obviously DS as a Discover Strength as an example, but you can take that idea and make it your own. And like you say, we're talking more about, this is a topic for another podcast, but the idea of having a marketing calendar, like mapping out January to December, what are you doing for each of everything that's coming up? Because like there's something every month, and it's like, how can you use that to your advantage in terms of your promotion and naming a certain program or whatever it is? But anyway, we'll perhaps save that for another time. But Pete, amazing as always, brief today, just hard-hitting wisdom from yourself, which we all appreciate. And if people want to find out more about Pete, so it's Pete Cerqua, C-E-R, do you remember when I said S? C-E-R-Q-U-A on Facebook. And if you want to work with Pete, we've got a number of different things going on that we would love to tell you about and help you grow your HIIT business. So if you go to highintensitybusiness.com/coaching, you can find out about one of those, or just email me, Lawrence@highintensitybusiness.com as well. And to get the show notes for this episode, please go to highintensitybusiness.com, search episode 445. And until next time, thank you very much for listening.
This episode is brought to you by Imagine Strength, your go-to for safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Growing a successful high-intensity training business requires workout equipment that's not only high quality, but also intelligently designed to fit the unique needs of your studio. And that's where Imagine Strength comes in. Drawing on the wisdom of the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength has crafted a groundbreaking line of fitness equipment that's as affordable as it is efficient, giving your studio the upgrade it needs without breaking the bank. The team at Imagine Strength breathes HIIT. Their passion for high-intensity training shines through in their designs, which they've consistently refined and innovated for optimum effectiveness and user experience. From my personal experience at Rec, I can attest to the careful consideration and craftsmanship that goes into every single piece. My Imagine Strength workout was absolutely brutal, in a good way, of course. Now, what makes Imagine Strength truly stand out? They have innovative equipment tailored for the unique needs of HIIT studios, affordable and efficient designs, lowering the barriers to entry for a HIIT business, continuous innovation and refinement ensuring your studio stays ahead of the curve. Founder Jeff Turner and his team are dedicated to moving the HIIT industry forward and making strength training accessible to more people than ever before. Here's how you get started. Number 1, visit imaginestrength.com. Number 2, discuss your specific needs with the team. And number 3, select the equipment that will propel your business to the next level. Head to imaginestrength.com today and give your HIIT business the Imagine Strength edge. Be part of the HIIT revolution and see firsthand how their unique equipment can transform your studio's workout experience. Elevate your HIIT business with Imagine Strength.
Let's go.